So after around 3.5 months of Logic's social media as being completely deleted, Logic actually returned to Instagram and Twitter yesterday to let all of us know that his long-awaited album No Pressure is finally going to be dropping next Friday. But also in the very same statement letting us know that it's going to be his final album and he's now officially announcing it's going to be his retirement. He went on to say, officially announcing my retirement with the release of No Pressure, executive produced by No ID, July 24th. It's been a great decade, but now it's time to be a great father. Art by Sam Spratt. If you've been a Logic fan for a while, then you know that raising a child has always been something that he's wanted to do in his life. He's talked about it in his music. He's talked about it in interviews. For example, in Paradise, off of my personal favorite album, The Incredible True Story, Logic went on to say, I hope I live a long life and get to see my sequel, my son, my seed, watch him grow and then watch him lead. But that's just one out of the many times Logic has went on to let us know that raising a kid is something that he really wants to look forward to and really wants to do in his life. And now with Logic's son being born, he wants his main focus in life to be on his child and raising his child the best that he possibly can instead of making music. Now, although I do believe that Logic is willing to leave behind music and do everything he can to make sure that he raises his son the best he possibly can, you also gotta remember at the end of the day, this is Logic we're talking about. This is not by any means the first time Logic has said something crazy like he's going to retire. So what I'm gonna do in this video is go into depth and tell you guys why I personally think Logic is not going to retire, at least for good, after No Pressure is dropped. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Let's get into it. So the first thing that I want to put a focus on in this video is something that I've definitely seen people bring up, but I feel like this hasn't been brought up enough in terms of Logic retiring and if he's even actually gonna retire. What everyone's forgetting is Logic has literally already done this before. Back in 2017 when he dropped his album Everybody, there was a skit at the very end of the album where Quentin Thomas and William Kai, in the skit they were both like walking through a field or whatever, they had just finished listening to Everybody. One of the characters told the other, I don't remember the specifics of which character it was, but they were like, yo, was that the last album? And then he responded saying, nah, I'm queuing up Logic's 4th album right now, his final one. Then it segued to J. Cole's verse on Africarian, and then that was the end of the album. The album was finished right there. So after hearing that, many people, basically all Logic's fan base, it was a bittersweet moment because everyone's like, no one knew how to feel. A lot like how everyone felt when they saw the news of Logic saying he's gonna retire a couple days ago. Because we had all just finished listening to this album, more or less enjoyed it, right? And once we finally got to the very end of the album, you know, we're getting ready to finish it off, we get the news broken to us that his next album, the 4th album, is gonna be his final one. And to make things even worse in this situation, Logic went on Genius and basically confirmed like, yo, this next album's my last one, I'm gonna retire after it, I'm going out on a bang. This man completely lied his ass off for like 3 or 4 minutes, however long that specific clip is. I obviously can't play you guys the whole entire Genius video because if I do, then they're gonna copyright strike this video and get my channel taken down faster than my original channel got taken down, so we ain't about to do all that in this video. If you guys do want to watch that clip of Logic from back in 2017 saying that his next album is gonna be his final one, you guys can go ahead and do so. But after Everybody dropped, we all know what happened. A year later, he dropped Bobby Tarantino 2, and then probably like 6-7 months later, he dropped Young Sinatra 4. Definitely wasn't his last album. So if Logic was already willing to fake retire once, then who's to say he's not willing to do it again? Alright, so next up on the list on why I think Bobby Capantino is definitely not going to be retiring after No Pressure is because this man is always relentlessly trolling his fans. Now, I have 2 specific examples of Logic trolling us that I'm going to show you guys, but I'm literally 100% positive is that there's 50 other examples just like these 2 out there that Logic has trolled us with over the years. So if there's anything else that comes to mind, go ahead and type it in the comments. I'm going to read every single comment and I'm going to reply back to most of them as well. One of the most recent examples of Logic completely toying with everyone's emotions is from a feature that he did around a month and a half ago on a song called A Letter to My Younger Self. I'm sure you guys have already all heard it, but Logic has a bar in the song where he says, track list done, yeah, the track list done. He's talking about No Pressure. And then he goes on to say, but I might just wait until 2021. I made a whole entire video on this when the song dropped like a month and a half ago. But Logic essentially came on the song talking about No Pressure, talking about how he was working on it and everything. And he said, yeah, I'm probably going to end up waiting until 2021 to drop. Fast forward a month and a half later, he announced it's literally dropping a week from now. So if Logic is so comfortable with just trolling and just throwing out little white lies like that here and there, what makes you guys think that he won't be willing to say once again that he's going to be retiring, even though he isn't really going to retire? Now, trust me, alright? If he genuinely is going to retire, if he just wants to focus on spending time with his son, be the best dad that he possibly can, I have the utmost respect for Logic. I want him to do whatever makes him happy. I've been a fan of this man for over 5 years now, bro. Like, if I thought that he was genuinely retiring because he wants to be a good dad, then I would be like, alright, Logic, I applaud you, bro. But always at the end of the day, bro, you gotta remember with Logic, there's always a fucking catch. I mean, look at this tweet, for example, bro. Like, there's always a catch with Logic. He's even admitted it. I don't think that by him making music and dropping music and shit still, that means that he isn't gonna be able to be a good dad. I still think he'll be able to be a great dad if he continues to do music. But anyways, besides all that, let me show you guys one more example of Logic just completely telling lies once again. So back in 2018, when Logic dropped Bobby Tarantino 2, there was a song on Bobby Tarantino 2 titled Warm It Up featuring Young Sinatra. Young Sinatra is obviously an alter ego of Logic's that he's been rapping under from like 2010 all the way up until 2013 maybe. He kind of retired the Young Sinatra persona after he finished his mixtapes, and once he started working on albums is like when he started just going as Logic, going as himself. He's always went as Logic, but that's kind of when the Young Sinatra era ended for him. Now, like I said, on the song Warm It Up, it was featuring Young Sinatra, and when Logic was being interviewed shortly after Bobby Tarantino 2 dropping, let me just go ahead and show you guys what he had to say about Young Sinatra. Here you go.
Can we see more of the Young Sinatra alter ego in the future?
Nah, I thought this was fun just to bring it back. You know what I mean? Super fun, but I mean, I'll probably do like fun like boom bap shit, but like I just thought it was funny to like put featuring Young Sinatra just nostalgically, just for fans and stuff like that. But I'm not gonna go back into that lane. But that's another thing is like, you know, to title something Bobby Tarantino or Young Sinatra, which I'm not doing, or fucking Ultra 85 or.
Now that you guys have seen that clip, let me also remind you that Logic went ahead and dropped an album, a full album titled Young Sinatra 4, literally 6 months after that interview. I'm telling you guys right now, Logic is a master troll, and he always has some shit up his sleeve. But at the end of the day, I don't know shit. I'm just a fan with my theories and with my conspiracies. Alright. Now, with Logic coming out recently and saying that No Pressure was going to be his final project and he was officially announcing his retirement, even if he does still intend on retiring, which I don't think he does, I'm positive it's not going to be the proper retirement from music that everyone is thinking it's going to be. I mean, there's been multiple different interviews, and I'm pretty sure he's even gone on to say it in some songs. You guys can leave them down in the comments if you guys find them. Basically saying, like, no matter what, I'm always going to be around. I'm never really going to retire.
I ain't retiring, motherfucker. Come on, I'm gonna make music forever. I'm just fucking with people.
Yeah.
Now, with him saying things like what he said in that clip that I just showed you guys, along with what I'm about to show you guys right now, then you're gonna understand why I truly think he's never really gonna retire like that, bro. So I don't know if you guys remember when this happened or not. I didn't personally make a video on it, but back in early April, when the pandemic and everything was really at a bad spot, everyone was on lockdown, staying inside of their house, Logic made a statement onto Reddit to basically update all of his fans and everything on what's going on with his life. So I'm gonna go ahead and read it to you guys, and I'm gonna point out a specific interesting part that I think we're all gonna notice is specifically interesting. All right, so he says, breaking my social media rule for a second to tell you guys I love you so much, and I just been in such a creative zone working on everything to come. You know me, I'm 5 projects and 2 movies ahead at all times. I hope you're being safe during this pandemic. Know that my heart is with you. I love you all, and I'm excited for No Pressure. I'm gonna stop reading right there. I'll leave it up on the screen if you guys want to like screenshot or just keep on reading, but I think we all know what I'm gonna point out. Literally just 3 months ago, Logic was saying how he's always 5 projects ahead at all times. Now fast forward to present day, he's saying he's gonna retire. And by the way, at this point, Logic's son was already born. He addressed that later on in the thread, but it's pretty obvious and typical usually that artists tend to have lots of unreleased music, whether it's stuff in the past that never dropped or even if it's things that they intend on dropping in the future. But he literally says in this statement right here that he's 5 projects ahead at all times. Not 1, not 2, 5 projects. I mean, I don't personally make music. I know a lot of my subscribers, some of you guys probably make music. I know people that make music, but I'm gonna go ahead and compare this to like a YouTuber's point of view, even though I know videos, like specific videos, are way different than full entire bodies of work or projects, as Logic's referring to it right here. If I one day announced that I was gonna like step away from YouTube just because I was tired, maybe I want to focus on raising my son, as Logic stated in his post where he said he was retiring. I mean, for me personally, I wouldn't intend on just keeping those 5 videos to myself. I would want those videos to see the light of day. So if Logic seriously does intend on retiring after No Pressure, I still think somehow, some way, we're gonna end up getting 1, 2, 3, maybe even 4 or all 5 of these projects that he's referring to down the line, because I highly doubt he's gonna scrap 5 entire projects. I don't know, that's just how I see things. Now, the next thing I want to bring up in this video is actually something that was brought to my attention by one of my subscribers, one of my followers. His Instagram is Enrique24366, and he DM'd me the other day, sending me this post that shows an Instagram user that goes by the name of Schwy_, replying to Logic's post about him retiring and everything, saying, funny thing is that you're definitely not retiring. Now, the significance with that comment is that this dude, Schwy, I think that's how you pronounce his name, I don't totally know, but he's been on tour with Logic for the past couple years. I'm not like 100% sure on like what his relation is to Logic. I think he might have either been like a videographer or a photographer for Logic on at least the past 2 tours. It may have been more before that, but I know for a fact it was like the past 2. So he definitely has some type of relationship to Logic, and Logic actually follows him on Instagram as well. So this ain't just like some random dude commenting this, but I just really feel like that was interesting and was at least worth noting to point out in this video. Now, this isn't really going to be like a reason on why I think he's not retiring or anything with concrete evidence. I more so just want to ask the question, like, what does this mean with Ultra 85? Is Ultra 85 ever going to drop? Did Ultra 85 somehow get molded into No Pressure if this is genuinely going to be Logic's last album? For those of you guys that don't know, all right, let me take you on a little history trip real quick. Back in 2017, when Logic's album Everybody dropped, it dropped with a booklet that I actually have. It dropped with these. This was like the limited edition booklet type shit. There's a booklet inside of here. And I think it's on this page. If you read the every 8th and every 5th letter, I'm not going to do all that right now because it's in like cursive and it's like, I don't want to do all that. But if you read like every 8th and every 5th letter in each sentence, I don't remember exactly what it said off the top of my head, but the message translated to something like, "Dear fans, my next album is going to be titled Ultra 85 and it's going to be the conclusion to the saga." It was something like that. And once again, Logic had talked about and mentioned Ultra 85, many different interviews, many different songs. I'm pretty sure he even has an Ultra 85 tattoo on him. There's been Ultra 85 Easter eggs and references in every single album cover starting from Everybody. There might have even been one back in Bobby Tarantino. Don't quote me on that. But in the Everybody album cover, there was Ultra 85 Easter eggs all over it. The Bobby Tarantino 2 cover, Ultra 85 Easter eggs all over it. There might have been some in Young Sinatra 4. In Confessions, I'm pretty sure there was Ultra 85 Easter eggs all over it as well. And also, I didn't even mention it, but there's Ultra 85 Easter eggs all over the No Pressure cover as well. I already know there's going to be a ton of you guys commenting telling me about it, so I'll just say right now, if you guys want me to make a full entire video breaking down some of the Ultra 85 Easter eggs and just all the Easter eggs in general on the No Pressure album cover, let me know and I'll definitely look into doing that before the album drops this upcoming Friday. So this has been something that Logic has talked about and had in the works for a very long time. He said it's going to be his final album that concludes the saga to everything, and I'm just bringing all this stuff up to say that I don't think No Pressure could even possibly be Logic's final album. I strongly believe that Ultra 85 is going to drop someday. I don't know when it's actually going to drop. None of us know when it's really going to drop, but just from the sheer amount of promotion and conversation that Logic has built up around Ultra 85 in his own music and interviews, literally within his album covers and things like Easter eggs, and even just putting all that aside, think about the amount of time that he's actually put into the album itself, Ultra 85. You know for a fact he's been working on it for years, and he ain't just gonna throw it away. So we've gone over and discussed a whole lot of different things in this video and a whole lot of reasons on why I think the whole entire retirement thing is really just a stunt at the end of the day. I personally think it's a publicity stunt, to be honest. Like, I don't think it's any secret just based off of how Logic has went on promoting and referencing and talking about this specific album, No Pressure. I don't think it's a secret that in the past 3-4 years, probably since Everybody, No Pressure, in my opinion, is probably the album that Logic has put the most time into. I mean, none of us truly know, alright? We're all judging from the outside and shit, but just from the outside looking in, bro, it really seems like No Pressure is the album that Logic needed to make for himself, bro. I don't even know if that makes sense, but anyways, I just want to make my last point in the video by saying I think the No Pressure and the retirement stuff is all just one big publicity stunt. This isn't the first time that rappers went on to say that they're going to be retiring and announce an album with it. I was watching a Blackie Speaks video the other day, and he mentioned how Jay-Z did this exact same thing. I think it was back in 2003. Jay-Z had promoted and talked about how the Black album was going to be his final album. He was basically fed up and wanted to retire from rapping. Obviously, with him just saying the statement alone that it was going to be his final retirement album, that got everyone's attention, and everyone obviously checked it out. It did good, obviously, but fast forward a few years later, Jay-Z continued to drop music, so that wasn't his actual retirement album. Logic has actually also talked about how Jay-Z is an inspiration to him.
I'm calling out Jay-Z to jump up on the track with me and smack the whole industry.
And if I remember correctly, Logic met Jay-Z at the Grammys as well. So if I was Logic and I was getting literal memes on memes made about me for the past few years, people are just relentlessly trash talking my name, and a few of the albums that I were dropping here and there, they weren't really resonating with the fans and with the general hip-hop audience like I was hoping or intending them to, I would be fed up too. And if I'm being completely honest here, if Logic would have went about dropping No Pressure without even doing the whole entire retirement thing, I don't even think it would be getting a fraction as much of the coverage as it actually is. In my opinion, Logic announcing that he's gonna retire with No Pressure pressure. It's actually a way for him to get people that aren't even really Logic fans like that to check out his final album, what he's perceiving to be like one final write-off into the sunset of the rap game before he retires and streams on Twitch with his 7-figure deal. So to be honest, I think it's a really good marketing strategy. I do not believe that he's actually going to end up retiring. If he wants to take like a year and a half, 2 years off from legitimately just like dropping projects and making projects like that, I'm pretty sure he's going to end up doing it. But no matter what, I really can't see him fully stepping away from the music scene like that. I don't know what it is, but I really just don't see it happening. Now, this video was made with the intent to spark a conversation about the whole entire Logic retirement thing. If there's one specific thing I could choose for you guys to take away from this video, it's just gonna be to think twice about things like Logic saying he's gonna retire, and just with a lot of shit on the internet in general, to be honest. I did not have any negative intent going into this video. If I somehow came across as like disrespectful towards Logic and towards his choice to retire or anything, I really didn't even mean for that to happen. If Logic himself or someone in his team is watching this video and I came across as a way like that, I just want to apologize right now. That was not my intent at all. I've been a fan of Logic for over 5 years at this point. And once again, this video was made for the sole purpose and intended to just spark a conversation, because I know I am not the only person out there that did not believe this whole entire retirement stuff. But obviously he's had like a long time to think about this and to think about this decision. Me being the skeptical person that I am, I'm like 50-50 on this. I on one side believe that there is a lot more than to what we're seeing, and that Logic has so much planned for the future, and what he's doing right now is just really one small chess piece in the long run. But on the other side, there's actually a large possibility that he is really going to be retiring, and if that's the case, then good for him, because he honestly does deserve it. Anyways, guys, that's going to go ahead and do it for this video. Go ahead and drop a like if you guys did enjoy. We've been getting like over 200, 300 likes. If we can somehow reach 500 likes on this video, I'm gonna lose my shit. So please drop a like if you guys did enjoy. I appreciate it. Subscribe if you guys are new. We just hit like 1.3k. If we can try and get to like 1.4k or 1.5k before No Pressure drops, I'm gonna lose my shit even more. I'm most likely gonna be doing a live stream on this YouTube channel or on my Twitch Thursday night whenever the album drops. So just stay tuned to my social medias for me to announce that. I'm probably gonna announce it in a later video as well. And that's really gonna go ahead and do it for this one, alright? So go ahead and follow me on Instagram and Twitter if you guys really fuck with me like that. If you specifically let me know by like sending me a screenshot of this very moment in the YouTube video, then I'm gonna go ahead and follow every single one of you guys back. So go ahead and do that if you guys want to follow back. I'll see you guys in the next video. This has been your boy Lyft, or Lyfties, whatever you guys do want to go ahead and call me, and I'm out. Peace.
Pass out, someone turn my lights out. I don't feel right when I walk out. Tell me where you help me if I fall down. Think I need you, girl, I need you right now. Pass out, someone turn my lights out.